Good morning, everybody. Here we are, a new day of streaming, third consecutive Friday. As I said last time, this live streaming session is something extremely valuable to me, mostly because, once again, I'm gaining a lot of knowledge in terms of macroeconomical data. I'm keeping my pure data analytics skills sharp, and also I have a really focused session. Now, let's reduce the size of the camera and let's get it started. I place myself here. Okay. As you know, we are building this dashboard, and so far we have analyzed data about asylum arrivals in Europe, asylum decisions. It means whether an application is approved or rejected. Then we created also a comparison by countries. So far, this is what we have built. Just 1 second. Okay. Today, I want to change Okay. Today I want to change. Today I want to change the discussion. I want to start investigating population change. So trying to analyze how European demographic is moving or has moved in the last few years. And after a few researches, I found this dataset being the ideal entry point. I found this dataset because other people online shared this. But before diving into this specific topic, I want to analyze a message I received from a user, which is telling me a few suggestions about the work I'm currently doing. So if you want to dig into German refugee and asylum statistical, you can use this link. Here you can find monthly data on asylum application decision and the current number of people in the city. Okay. Here you can see summaries of asylum application, recognition. Okay, this is everything about German, and I already checked these links. Basically, they are PDF, so I don't have the possibility to download or analyze the raw data, which is something really important to me. Then other two reports, I haven't opened it. More data. And then this user is giving me interesting suggestions about the housing crisis. The housing emergency persists because many refugees who have already been granted asylum still cannot find permanent housing. But the asylum system data alone cannot explain housing pressure because it excludes EU free movement migrants and other non-asylum migration flow. Makes sense, which affect housing demand. It means that also European people are moving across countries, across cities, and Europe is also welcoming um, people from other continents which do not require um, asylum application, but still they require an accommodation. Right. Other data set. Freedom of movement monitoring report. 31 pages. What I don't like about this PDF is that they don't show the raw data underlying, as I said earlier. An incredible number of fellow Italians, as you can see. An incredible number of Bulgarian people, Croatian, Romania. So yeah, looking at this number, clearly these are really important numbers. Let's take, for example, only 2023. So we had 500,000 asylum arrivals in Germany, and on top of that, we had also 500,000 EU citizens which migrated to Germany. So definitely the sum of this number, which is roughly 1 million, is responsible to the housing pressure we currently have on Europe in Germany. Let's see if I can find. Then we have by age. Then we have the other way around, how many people are, wow, number of people that are living Germany. Net migration. Okay, so we should take the net migration in order to calculate the housing pressure. Non-German EU. Okay. This one is interesting. Wow. 2.5 million EU citizens receiving social security contribution. But do we have access to the data? No. So this suggests that the current housing pressure cannot be explained by rising migration alone, but rather by structural housing shortage and bottlenecks in moving people into permanent housing. You said if Europeans are not making babies anymore, why is there such an emergency? But that's probably the wrong question. It doesn't necessarily correlate. You should look into how many households exist. How many housing units exist and are housing units matching household types and location. Low birth rates don't automatically reduce housing demand, which is correct. So we need to know how the numbers of households change over time. How many housing units are being built each year? Whether the existing housing stock matches current household types where people actually want to live. To start, I will look here or here. We can also look at this report. Let's have quickly a look at this data. I'm not a huge fan in having a look purely at a single country because I would like to understand the European okay, the European situation. Okay, as you can see, this dataset is not so well done. Wohnen in Deutschland, 2022. All in 2022 we have the data. Tabellen. It looks like the total housing stock has grown over the last decade, but only slowly and not necessarily where demand is highest, especially in urban areas like Berlin. Yeah, this is also really interesting, the household fragmentation. While fewer babies are being born, the number of individual one person household is increasing rapidly. In Berlin, more than 50% of households are now single person household. Also check the living space per person. German actually sorry for the siren, I had to mute the microphone. Germany actually use more square meter per capita than before. Now we know there are 1 point, wow, almost 2 million apartments in Berlin, while 1 million of them only one person lives. That's, that's 50% of apartments. Really interesting. Okay, so this gave us a great initial understanding. Now let's try to explore this data set. So first things first, download CSV. Yeah, let's compress the file. Let me do something really quickly. I just cleaned my desktop folder so it's easier to work. Yeah, let's compress the file. Now we want to unzip, giving a proper name. Right? Population, demography, stock and balance. Let's call it this way. Stock and balance. Damn it. Why not? Why not? It's because the underscore. What the heck? Population stock. I'm going to change from the terminal. Not sure why it's happening. Never happened before. Just for you to know. What I'm currently doing. I'm renaming this file, alright? So we can go back to here. Now, as we usually do, we go into our YouTube analysis and we upload our dataset. Just let's have a quick look how the dataset looks like before importing brown things. 253K. Okay, this is the dataset. Observation value, time period, country, average population female, average population total, crude rate of net migration plus statistical adjustment. That's really interesting. Net migration plus statistical adjustment. So we don't need these three columns. Let's take, for example, Italy. So the dataset runs from 2016 till 2024. We have the death, we have average population female, average population females. Well, I cannot properly format this number. Strange. Okay, 30 million. The crude rate of net migration. I guess this one is a percentage. 0.7. Let's see if there is a better explanation of this particular column. Crude rates. What might mean crude rates? Crude rates means simple non-standardized rates calculated on total population. So crude rate means every 1,000 inhabitants. Average population net migration average population female. So the difference between total and female gives it the male. Then I have the death and crude rate. Crude rate is probably this one divided this one, right? And should be similar to this one, indeed. I'm not sure if this one is the best data set. We can have let's try to understand if we have some other data set. So here I have all the data sets of Eurostat. So I'm not a huge fan of this one in particular. Let's see if we can find a better data set. Like for example this one. Dataset information. Okay, number of cells, as you can see, it's way bigger. Oh, data coverage 9060 2025. Wow, this one is really, really nice. Let's have a look at it. Up, CSV, compress file, download, yes. Then we find a good way to unzip it. We go again on our, oh God, it's this one here. So we move demo. To upload this dataset here is not straightforward because it's a big dataset. Well, no, it's not that big. Sorry, I just want to check if everything is alright with my stream. Everything is alright with my stream. Everything is alright with my stream. Yes. Okay, here is the data set. Okay, number of cells 700,000. So let's have a quick look. Geo, sex. But did I download the whole dataset? Yes, why was saying 9060 2025, which is not true. Female, male, age. What does it mean age? 1 year, 2 year, 3 years. Let's check Italy as always. This is proportion of population. which is interesting, but it means that if I want to know the absolute number also by sex and citizenship, I need to combine these two datasets, basically. What does it mean? 1 year, 2 years, 3 years? I wish there was a kind of nice description. Let's quickly check if this report has some median age. Why proportion? They give us the proportion. What is the nuts to origin? Data start, data end. So first of all, it's not true that this report start in 1960 because when I download it, it has values just from 2016. Am I downloading? Hmm. Aha. Let's remove the total. Let's remove the aggregation. Because I need to arrive to a max of 750,000 cells. Alright. 6, we remove the total. Nice. Time. Time frequency. Wait. Alright, this makes much more sense. I'm wondering if I made some mistake with the previous data set. Let's have a look. Customize your data set. This seems okay. Asylum decisions. So here definitely I could have downloaded much more data. This is an exercise for the next time. Anyway, we have all our data. Let's try to download again. Yeah. So let me delete all of this. Then once again we go into the browser and we move now. Before I need to unzip theoretically. Okay, I will unzip using right. Now theoretically I should not be able to load the data here because the data set is massive. Hopefully 40 megabytes, okay, which is good because I can still load on Metabase, since Metabase is having limits as 50. I just want to see if I can clean the data. As you can see, it's taking some time to load because okay. So almost 500,000 rows of data. Let's uh, let's quickly remove what we don't need. Let's remove these columns. Let's 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 clean this data here. So this one becomes 0. Anything else? I want 2 years, replace all, yes. It will take some time because I want the age to be numerical. It will allow us a better visualization. Same with here. Nice. Unit we don't need, but as you can see, it occupies a lot of values. Annual we don't need. Last update we don't need. Data flow we don't need. All right. I think we got it. File, download, CSV, and we overwrite the current one. Perfect. Okay, now we can start to play with let's call it this way instead of stock. Create a new model. Entity too large. Strange because the limit is 50 megabyte. As you can see, I'm 13 megabytes. Okay. Using PostgreSQL, create a table to host this data, and then give me a command to load the file directly into the table. I am on an Ubuntu server inside PSQL. Uh, File is here. 1 second, I will connect to the database. I will report this bug to Metabase team. Actually, let me check if logs are showing some error. Uh, Sorry guys, I need to check my password. It will take 1 second. Okay. Uh, we know that I need to SGP. SGP. I don't know why it's, because I'm not inside test. Okay. So we are sending the file into the server. As you can see, it's here. So I can tell to file is here. I can tell to ChatGPT to create me the commands I need to upload the file on the server. Name is called all right. How do we call the table? We call the table. Let's see how I call the previous tables. Population. 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 Something like that. I'm not a huge fan, but then we need also to get the proper schema, which is called Metabase uploads. Nice. And finally, we can upload the data, copy, Metabase, damn it. Root, and this is the file name. So we should be there indeed. So as you can see, it works. Now let's get back to the browser and I go into admin settings, database, I rescan the fields. Now if I refresh here and I go inside Metabase uploads, we have this one. Wonderful. Age is an integer, sex is a text, geo is a text, time period is an integer. Actually, this will be better as a category. So I go in table metadata. Table metadata, time period is a category. Alright. Alright, let's keep it at this. Okay, let's have a look at the data once again. What we can do, we can start to create a dedicated tab, demography, evolution. Okay, we are ready to go, guys. It only took 1 hour to get there, to get here. No, I'm joking, 30 minutes. See this table. Voila. Let's quickly explore this data set. For example, time period, DOM bin, sum of ops value, we filter by Italy. That should be it. Evolution of Italian demographic. Germany, and Germany included former. So actually, I will clean Germany. So write a query to modify this table. Delete the values in the column geo where and then alter geo equals it should be so I'm altering some values because I don't like that I have Germany twice. Perfect. So as always I scan. Now if I refresh, we will see that we have just one Germany. Then I was noticing that we have a similar situation also for France. We have this metropolitan France, but then we have also France. So, what is the current population of France? It says 68 million, which is correct. So actually, what the heck is metropolitan France? 63 million. I will get rid of metropolitan France. Delete where values are metropolitan France. Nice. Okay, guys. Now, for example, we can do something interesting like calculating the population of Europe. And as you can see, there is something strange. What are these crazy jumps here? Well, the crazy jumps might be when a new country enters European Union. But I would expect growing jumps, not jumps decreasing. Okay, we need to understand what's going on. To do so, let's try to add the geo and visualize. And then as visualization, we can have a table, or we can have even better, a pivot table. So as you can see, so for example, let's try to understand what happened in 2014. So as you can see, we have this massive, it's Russia. What if I exclude what if we exclude Russia? Then there are years in which we don't have countries, like Georgia, for example, Belarus, Andorra. So this is definitely something I need to take into account. We don't have a Hungary in 2025. This explains why we have this jump. Liechtenstein, we don't have the values. Poland, we don't have the values. So this is something I should fix. I should fix, for example, filling the empty values with the previous one. This is usually a good strategy. Dr. Kai, for example, is a good approximation. I mean, it's not perfect, but it makes sense. United Kingdom also. This is quite annoying that after Brexit they stopped to provide data. Andorra. Okay. As you can see, for certain countries I have gaps. I do not want to fill the gaps at the beginning, but I want to fill the gaps in between. Do you understand what I mean? In between, taking the previous value. Perfect. Let's see how good is the query. Should I give it a try? Let's try. Update 0. Probably I need to show to him the raw data. Yes, because of course we need also to specify, take the previous value based on age and sex. Exactly. I don't. I don't want a view. Shall we give it a try? Hmm. Should we? I'm having issues pasting this into the terminal. Mhm. It's not working for some reason. Modify directly the table. It's a bit risky, I admit. Do not do. Can you do it in a transaction? I want a begin end, exactly. This makes much more sense. Now, one issue might be that for certain, let's take for example Armenia. One issue is that for certain countries, I don't even have the value. You see, issue is that for certain countries, ages X, I do not have values to update. There are simply gaps, so we should insert instead of update. What do you think? Insert the means when null. Let's give it a try. Okay, I've done it. Let's see live if, let's check for example Armenia. Nice, it worked. As you can see, so for example, let's pivot, our original dataset. I think we can remove this one. There are too many cells in this spreadsheet. Let me share my stream also on Facebook. I'm sharing the stream on my Facebook. Copia. Maybe I can also. Sorry guys. Okay, I just shared the link on my other social media. So we have time period and we have geo. Maybe we can simply filter by Armenia. Right, and value we have the sum. So if I go here, we should see from Armenia 036, 44, 44, exactly 320, and then we have a jump. I'm not, I'm not convinced because as you can see, this number doesn't make sense. should be equals to this one. What if we fix this issue in the original CSV using Python? Could you do it? Is it easy? So for the gap years, I want to have the identical values as the previous year by geo-sex age. Do not include let's see. Should we give it a try? So something I'm going to do is to show you Ghost. Now I don't understand why I cannot increase the size. Damn it. Okay, let's close everything. Uh, we are inside our server and this is the file. What we can do is vim update.py and we can paste the whole file. Now we can, theoretically, it will not work because I need to download Python, something I didn't want to do. Yeah, maybe I can do it on my machine actually. Because I have the file also here and we update.py. Python update.py. Right. So let's rerun the script. Okay, this one is a common mistake I get. Exactly, a cell. Now we can see that our filled database is slightly larger, which is good. So let's send the file to our server. Unfortunately today internet is quite slow here. Okay. Now let me connect again to PostgreSQL. 1 second. Now delete table metadata uploads dot no, sorry, metabase uploads dot population drop table. Exactly. Now let's get again the query to upload the data, which is this one. I need also to create the table, of course. So first of all, I need to recreate the table, and then I can fill the data. Damn it. What's going on? And damn it. Yes. So something I can do is to original. Something I can do is to check the data in a new spreadsheet, because I have the feeling something is still wrong. Sorry about that. incredibly slow. So let's give this error because I will crash my laptop. Okay, I reloaded the data. Okay, something I need to do is, as always, pivot table, new. Damn it. Row, time period, columns, filter, geo, Armenia, columns, uh, geo, exactly. So, yes, it's correct. Probably is also a bit different because within a country we don't have data about a specific year. Otherwise, I don't understand why there is this gap. So let's duplicate this one. Allora, we know that we have Armenia. I want as year 2021, 22. Exactly. I will put the time period as a row, as a column, and as a row, I will have the age. So these two values should be identical, but they are not. So where is the difference coming from? Aha, it's because 2022. Okay, let's give it another try. We have also some issues in our dataset, using pandas. Now, let's check. Okay, let me check only Armenia. Come on. is happening? Taking data from the previous year or the next year? Sorry, I'm getting a bit mad to ChatGPT. Let's try again. Yes, as you can see, it's taking so much time to fix these issues. Okay, let's try again, guys. And Vim update. Python update. Nice. Then we modify Armenia. Python Armenia. We load Armenia here. I want to be precise when I do my analysis. I can't work with a dirty dataset, mostly because if the dataset is dirty, then it makes everything so complicated and difficult. Okay, let's have a look. Why is not working? Oh, nice. This is what I want to see. And if we do the same here, we have in Now it makes much more sense. Okay, it is working. What we can do now is to go back to the terminal and SCP. Let me make some cleaning. So we drop table population. No. One second. Okay, guys, we are almost there. I need to find a better way to switch between terminal and browser so you can follow me through properly. Damn it. Okay, let's go back to Metabase. Okay, this makes much more sense. We need to understand what's going on with the jump, but so far I'm happy what I'm seeing. Uh, Summarize sex geo time period, sum of ops value, visualization. We have a pivot table. We don't want build. Of course, we want to sort by time period. What is this strange sorting is doing? You cast. I need to cast Okay. I don't understand. Okay, this one is correct. Alright guys, finally we have our dataset. Now let's have a look at our pivot. We need to, damn it, metropolitan. We need to clean also the thing we did before. Such a pity we don't have a complete dataset, but it's okay. We can work with this. So what is interesting is that, first of all, let me move to trash this stuff because we don't need any more. We could, for example, take time period 2024, geo equals Italy. We could have 8, and we have our demographic pyramid. Let's check if we can build something like the classic demographic pyramid. We have something like we know that we have females and male. Some if sex equals males, we sum the ops value, else minus 1 time ops value. Here we will have also the sex. So now we can do this one with no. No, it's not. That's defocused. I can have the pyramid. What's going on? It's interesting because we can compare the demographic pyramid in Italy, 1960. Wow. 1980, 1990, the problems, I mean, the demographic collapse started way earlier. Look this gap in Germany. We might know what is due. 42, 42. I expect to see the same gap in the 80s, around 62. A lost generation, basically. People that fought the war during their 20s. Dramatic. Also other countries are the same. The lost generation. Here we have another massive gap. Yeah, I think these two are correlated. Let's write a post about this. I think it's really interesting. Pyramid of Germany. There are two interesting gaps. The first one for people in 49. Those are the people that almost 40 years, 35 years earlier fought the Second World War. Such a tragedy. And then there is a second gap of people between 20 and people 20 and 5 years. So these are all the missing children of people killed during the Second World. Can we do a quick LinkedIn X Facebook Facebook post about it. Write a catchy first sentence as always. I'm going to write let's post everywhere. So, since how long am I streaming? 2 hours 17 minutes. I'm hungry, I'm tired, and I haven't barely started analyzing the data. So guys, I'm going to call it for today because I have a meeting and also I need to eat and get prepared. So, even though I've not been able to fully complete what I wanted to do, I'm kind of satisfied because now I have a perfect data set to work with. Um, Next Friday I will not stream. We see each other in 2 weeks. Goodbye, guys.